Hello there folks, it is TIJ Gaming and welcome to episode 13 of our F1 2012 Lotus career mode. Today we go to arguably, apart from Spa, the home of Formula 1, certainly is for the Italian fans and the TIFOSI, the supporters of the Ferrari team. Today it's time, after the Belgian Grand Prix, to go to Italy for the Autodromo National, yeah, let's not bother. Let's just keep it simple. It's the Italian Grand Prix at the Monza circuit. It's a 3.6 mile circuit, 13 laps. Will be raced on Sunday, and it is a cracking track. I do love Monza, a lot of good memories. I've been to this track in real life. I went there in 2015 to watch the race, and the atmosphere is no less than phenomenal. They're phenomenal. There we go, I've got the word right in the end, but the atmosphere on the television is even better when you're at the event. So for any F1 fans, Monza is a definite recommendation. But on to the racing for today. The last race, of course, was at Belgium, as we said earlier. You'll be asked to select a rival driver. Or have we not been asked to do that either yet? That's odd. No, we haven't been asked for that yet. But anyway, we didn't really qualify that well. I hope that's not a feature of the season now for Lotus. We qualified down in 18th, couldn't really find our pace. And then we finished, I think, if I remember rightly, in P8, P7, I think it was anyway. But we had a good, no, was it P10 in the end? I think no, P10 in the end. So hopefully this weekend will be a little bit better. We've got a qualifying objective of 10th place and a race objective of 7th. I hope we can beat both of those objectives. That would be fantastic. But without any further ado, let's go to the Monza circuit for Q1. Here we are then, I just mentioned it, and now we can select a rival. So we only are able to select 4 riders as a rival. That's either Kobayashi, Schumacher, Massa, or Rosberg. I'm going to be a bit of a scapegoat here and go for Felipe Massa, because Massa's been dreadful, to be quite honest. Massa, he's been knocked out in Q1 some race. I know we were last time, so calm down. Yeah, we were knocked out last time. But Massa's not really that good of a driver. But if you didn't know, folks, we are going to go to Formula 1 2013 after this season, rather than doing a second season on this game. But that might be delayed after this season as a result of a few games that are coming out in April that I want to focus on. But that'll all be addressed, of course, in a channel update. But we've selected Felipe Massa, so we've got 2 objectives: to beat Raikkonen, to beat Massa, and of course the third is to get 10th or above in qualifying. So let's go for Q1. And the weather is overcast. A bit surprising. It's usually beautiful at Monza, but overcast weather? Might there be some rain? Well, once again, we've gone out for a lap on the option tyres. Pushed it quite a bit, I'd say. And we're failing to even be inside the top 17. Dearie me, I don't know what's going on here. I really don't. Our qualifying pace is shocking. It wasn't this bad with Williams, was it? I don't think it was. No, it certainly wasn't. We got into Q3 a lot of times, but on the option tyres, we're a second away from Bruno Senna, so we're having to put plenty of fuel in the car and just see if we can get a lap time, but I don't quite know what's going on here at all. Well, we should be fine here. If you look at this lap, it's much quicker than our last effort in terms of the first 2 sectors. Half a second clear of Senna, but it seems to be on the straights the way we lose our speed. I don't know if the Lotus is a car that isn't very quick on the straights, but we've got our setup quite enhanced for a bit of straight line speed, so if that's where we lose here, that'll be a bit of a concern. But we've got time for one more lap if this one isn't enough, but I don't know whether it is going to be. We're a half a second above Senna in that last sector, and it's just about there. A 123 even, sorry, 0.5, and that is very close between Massa and Vergne. We might as well go for another lap now. We've got the fuel and we've got the tyres to do so. So let's see if we can improve and make sure we get into Q2. Well, we've just about got through to Q2. It's Bruno Senna who is the unfortunate casualty. It would have definitely been us if we hadn't improved. But just look how close the field are. No wonder we're struggling to get through. Look at the gap. There's 8 tenths that separates us and the top, and just over a second that separates Bruno Senna from Alonso. I understand it's a quick circuit, but blimey, that is a close gap. But it looks like Ferrari have got the superiority at their home track. Can we put a stop to that? I doubt it after being 15th there. But nonetheless, let's see what we can do in Q2. That's not a bad way to start Sector 1, isn't it, on your first Q2 lap? Blimey, 3 tenths up on Senna, on Perez, and Purple in that first sector. I doubt we can continue that throughout the lap, but who knows? I think our performance in that second sector just proves that it's obviously the straight line speed of the car that's weak. We're 2 tenths down in that sector on Perez, and we were 3 tenths up on him before, so we've managed to lose half a second just in 2 corners. That doesn't make any realistic sense. but it must be the straight line speed of this car that is lacking. But we've got to get into the top 10. We've got no excuses here. We've got a few more laps to do it in, but how close are we going to be this time? I don't think we're going to be anywhere near, to be honest. And yeah, we're 7/10ths off, and in 17th place. It just seems there's just no straight line speed, and I don't really understand. Well, even quicker that time through Sector 1, a 10th quicker than our previous effort. Let's just go through Sector 2, see if you guys can identify where we're losing a bit of time, because I'm not really sure. We're trying to keep as quick as we can without going off the track. But out of 2 corners, maybe a bit of curves might be best out of this corner, I'm really not sure. Don't only lose too much of it though. But if we are down after this again by sort of 3/10ths, that confirms that it's definitely the straight line speed and nothing else. What's it like this time round? Let's have a look. Again, it's closer, but the delta's still the same. We're still sort of 2-3/10ths down the middle, a little bit scrappy through there, and that's the lap gone. That's this lap gone. Too wide there, and that's time gone. So we're going to put it in lean and see what we can do with this final lap time. But if we don't improve massively now, we might as well just call it a day in terms of Q2. Well, we've got a chance here. We are 3/10ths up on Sergio Perez and half a second plus up on our personal best. I just fear we might lose that time into the last few corners. Let's see how we can get on. Brake into Parabolica as tight as possible. Use the bit of curves we've got left. Up the line. 6th gear. Yep, in 6th gear. How are we going to do? Up to 7th. And it's a 1:22.9. Just proven that just that little bit of an increase, a second increase on our delta. So very, very good there. It just shows that how a little bit of improvement can lead to something very easy. And it's not quite like real life. We have to weave through these, is it? You can get through them quite easily. But amazingly, we're through to Q3, and I have no idea how we've managed to produce a monster of a lap like that. We've out-qualified our teammate then. Raikkonen's actually dropped out in that session, unfortunately. Both Toro Rossos have gone. The surviving Williams has gone. A Force India has gone. Both Force Indias, actually, and the Sauber. But the Sauber of Perez remains in Q3, the only sole Sauber, as well as the sole Lotus of ourselves. But both Mercedes, both McLarens, both Ferraris, and both Red Bulls in Q3. Let's see where we can finish on this grid. Well, I'm going to do a 3-lap stint in this session. That's all I'm going to bother with. I don't want to overwork these tyres too much, particularly because we might have to use them in the race. But it seems that that 3rd lap is the tester lap, really. That's how you improve, because it's proven in that last session that the first 2 laps were quite mediocre at best, even though the first sector was purple on both of them. But it seems the 3rd lap, and when we've got the least fuel, is when the lap time seems to come. But that makes sense, but to be a second above doesn't make too much sense. But nonetheless, let's just go for it and see how far we can get up the grid here for the Italian Grand Prix. Well, we're just coming up now to start that all-crucial 3rd lap. As you can see, our time deltas are pretty similar to what they were in the previous session. We need to get some sort of improvement here, but not enough to break within the top 9 at all. But if it's a second delta on that 2nd lap to the 3rd, we're going to shoot right up the grid here. But I don't think it will be. Well, let's see how we get on. It wasn't to be, and dreams only really happen at Walt Disney World. Let's be honest. We could have been further up the grid, but I think to get into Q3 was quite lucky. And as you can see, the rest of the guys were quite a way above our pace. But Mark Webber surprisingly takes pole. I don't think he's had a race win this year. I can't remember him getting a race win anyway. Above his teammate Sebastian Vettel, but it's 2x2, and the 2 Brits line up behind him, with Rosberg in 5th, Alonso 6th, quite a surprise. Not really a great day for the Scuderia, but Perez 7th, Massa 8th, and Michael Schumacher just above us in 9th. Let's go then for the Italian Grand Prix. We're on the grid then here for the Italian Grand Prix. 13 laps of racing round one of the homes of Formula 1. But what the real test is the next 20-30 seconds, which will probably have the most action in the race. We are away for the Italian Grand Prix. Schumacher with not a great start, but a much better second phase. We haven't really had the best start, and it's always a tricky one coming down into the first corner. I wouldn't say we've been mugged, but we've lost a few positions here. Just trying to keep it and not collide with anybody. That's always trickier to be said than done. But we regained those few positions on the exit of that corner. But Raikkonen, Schumacher and Massa nearly 3 abreast. This might not end particularly well for one of those. But Schumacher and Raikkonen, not a good run. And we could go 3 abreast here into this corner. This is not going to end well. But Schumacher's there. And he's lost the position. And we're going to try and go up the inside of our teammate. But that's never going to work. But he's really been compromised on the exit. So we've tried to get the overcut on him. But we don't want to take Raikkonen out, of course. And we're just going to leave him the room to keep that position. But we've remain where we are after that start, so that's very positive. In P10, we haven't really got the pace for anything else. Luckily, we haven't got anyone too close behind because as we know our straight line speed isn't great, and that just shows with even Kimi in the other car pulling away on the straight there, so not really sure what's up with the straight line speed in this car, but coming around the Ascari complex might get a good run on our teammate here actually. But the top 8 have kind of gone, they've gone away a little bit, but Schumacher is quite a way behind, so we've got a nice buffer between the car ahead and the car behind at the end of lap 1. Well, we've managed to catch back up to the bunch, and Kimi Raikkonen's got past Massa. Can we get past him? We're not going to have a look up the inside here, that's just stupid. But we've tempted the move, and I think that's phased Massa a little bit, try and get a good run out of here. Oh, that's not the best run, bit of a twitch to the right there. We didn't want to spin round, certainly didn't, but coming through these... I can't think what the corner's called. What are they called? I can't think what they're called. But I know Ascari, I know a few more of the corners, but Massa has gone away again, and now Schumacher, he's close on us. We're using all our curves. Look at us. We're trying to just keep competitive on the straight, but the other cars just sailed past us. We've just tried. The Lesmos, those are the corners there, but about 20 seconds too late, that public service announcement was. So we've got Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2, but that is just Ascari we've been round. We've done well, though, there to keep off Schumacher, to fend him off there, but coming to the end of the lap, we're going to come under a big threat, I think, again, on the start-finish straight. Well, there's a bit of a scrap between the 3 cars ahead. That's Massa, Kimi Raikkonen and Sergio Perez. And now we might get... I don't think we do get DRS, just a 1. Oh, no, there is 2 DRS straights. Can we take our chance here? Bit of curves. As you can see, we're way off the pace of the leaders, but that's not going to stop us to try and make this move. The Sabre of Perez is really compromised. And we've made the double overtake there. Well, I thought our braking was a bit out of control into the first corner, but Perez was going really slowly. Massa was caught napping a little bit there, and that is a brilliant double overtake, and very well there actually not to go into our teammate Raikkonen. I'm sure in the much later games, sort of 2017 and 2018, that would have been a massive lock-up straight into the side of our teammate, and a very sad team principle. Of course, the problem with a track with double DRS is that the guys just come straight back at you. I mean, we've got nothing to combat them going for that move, which is ridiculous. We obviously haven't got any curves left. Our braking distance is clearly a lot better than Massa and Perez, so we can get some good slipstream coming onto the DRS straight. It's weird how we've gained all of a sudden in the cars ahead, actually, as well as Kimi, as a few of them ahead, but that's a Mercedes going slowly. That seems odd. Kimi's gone past that Mercedes. He's going really slowly as Rosberg, but we really can't capitalise. Seems our pace has gone a little bit. You could argue that's probably because we're not in rich fuel mix, which we're going to go back into. Now, hopefully we do get DRS here. Let's see. Yep, we do. We're within 7 tenths, but Rosberg is really slow, and I'm just seeing that battle ahead between Rosberg and Kimi. Oh, blooming hell. Something obviously looked up with Rosberg's brakes. We've gained massively on that group there ahead, but luckily for any of the cars, there wasn't a collision, but unfortunately we didn't manage to make a move there. But it is pit stop time, the end of this lap, so it'll be interesting to see how the pit stop leave us. How the pit stops leave us in terms of position, but Massa is just above, no point going for a move on the inside there. It would only lead to a bit of disaster, but we can get a good run out of this corner. But luckily the Schumacher Kobayashi group is way behind us now, so we haven't got to focus on anything from there behind. We've just got to look forward, but let's see if we can get anything done on Massa. I think we might even be outside that 1 second window, I'm not really sure. But whilst he's got DRS and we have as well, we don't gain any pace on him, and I think we're not going to gain anything. So we've just got to focus on coming into the pits nice and safe, getting a good pit stop done, and coming out as quickly as possible. But that was very scrappy around there, not brilliant. We broke a little bit too late, but to be honest, I think the tyres are on the edge of the cliff now, because I've broken into there at that sort of speed before, but the car didn't turn there. It didn't want to turn anyway. But coming into the last corner of the Parabolica, get around it nice and safe. We do go a little bit wide that corner, actually. I've noticed that in the pass, but now we're going to pop into the pits, use a bit of lean fuel mix, get slowed down into the pits. That was probably too slow, to be honest, to get slowed down into the pits. Didn't anticipate that the pit entry line was that far on. But we're into the pits anyway. Doesn't seem like it's too crowded, as long as we don't get held up here, which we haven't been. A 3.3 second pit stop. There's Schumacher, a little bit close to us than I would have liked. But Sebastian Vettel actually only a few seconds ahead of us, so we've made a few gains there, I think. But out of the pits in P14, Schumacher a little bit closer than we would have wanted to. But at the same token, we've gained on Sebastian Vettel above as well, so it might be an opportunity to see what we can do on the undercut. Coming out of the final corner then, the Parabolica onto the start-finish straight. Are we going to make any gains from the pit stops? It could be quite scrappy coming out here. Where's Vettel going to come out as well? They've all come out ahead of us. They're all way ahead. Blimey. Look at that. The Massa group, that's even a Force India up there. He's made a pit stop. No, he hasn't made a pit stop, to be fair. But look at that. Well, that's astounding. I don't know how we're still in P10. No, we will still be in P10. It's just the case that Hulkenberg hasn't pitted. But I can't believe how much they've gained. Oh, that wasn't the best entry. That's probably because we're looking at the race director. But wow, I can't believe how much of a gap they've pulled. But that being said, they're in intense battle with each other. So hopefully we can catch up in the third quarter of the race. I have to say, it's been very uneventful, hasn't it, since the pit stops. Nothing's happened. You can see that Massa and Vettel are the same sort of distance away. Vettel did manage to get embroiled in a battle with Felipe Massa, and I thought he could move forward in this field, but he hasn't done anything since. He stayed quite close and had quite a battle with Massa, which is a bit of a concern for Red Bull after Vettel qualified second. Goodness knows what happened to him in the pit stops or where his pace has gone. But behind we haven't really come under any sort of challenge. Schumacher is the sole challenger anyway. Maldonado and that sort of group are quite a way back, but with just over a lap to go, we're going to consolidate this 10th place. Unfortunately, not beating our teammate, not beating Massa, and not beating our objectives, so it could well be considered a failure, this race. Could, or I don't see it like that. We've managed to get a point. It was the same we did in Belgium, and, you know, it's not a bad start to our crew with Lotus. It seems to be a bit of a struggling qualifying at the moment. I'm not really sure why that is. Not the best entry there, but oh well. But, you know, we're picking up points, picking up consistent points. That's what the team have asked us to do. And hopefully at one of these races we might well get a podium. But for some reason, we're way off the pace of the leading group anyway today. Schumacher is going to come right round the outside. We're going to try and block him off a little bit. But does that work? Yeah, it does certainly into turn 1. But we're going to come under threat again with the second DRS zone later in the lap. One of the only circuits on the calendar this year in 2012 to feature 2 DRS zones rather than usually there only being 1. Because I've said in several videos, well, in 2013 there'd be 2 DRS zones here, and in 2012 there's only 1. But this year in Monza there are 2. But as you can see, I think we were about 2 seconds behind Massa a few laps ago, so I think we probably lost that gap through our own, not boredom, but just our own complacency and the fact that they're just so quicker than us. But hopefully we can keep this position on Schumacher. It'd be a real shame to race up to this point and not pick up any points. Going to use all of our curves from here on. But Schumacher going round the outside. I think he's going to make this stick, you know. Get up to Rich Mix quick. I think Schumacher's got it. Go around the outside. I think we've got it. Schumacher's left us way too much room there. We've still got a bit of a battle going on into this last corner. Jensen Button in the McLaren wins the race. So both Red Bulls have bottled it there with the fastest lap of a 1:24.5. Blimey, we were nowhere near. But Schumacher could be close in the final corner. Coming round it though, we've got no curse, so his acceleration will be crucial. Look at how close this is between the 2 drivers. Who's going to pick up the final point? I think we are. We're going to edge off Michael Schumacher just slightly. Of course, keep fighting, Michael. But P10 for us there. Bit of a shame that we couldn't consolidate and capitalise on the positions that we could have had. And we failed to finish 7th or above. Goodness knows how Kimi Raikkonen from 11th finished in 4th place. Must have been that they got the overcut. I'm really not sure how that worked. But Vettel, ourselves, and you could arguably say Rosberg missing out there. But a brilliant race for Hamilton and Button. And McLaren won 2 in the end. And really good for Kimi. I think that's his personal best result of the season. Typically starts to do that once we come to the team. But we're still above him in the championship. Level on points now with Felipe Massa. And 3 points behind Schumacher. And only 4 now behind Kamui Kobayashi. But Perez keeps going from strength to strength in that Sauber. Jensen Button takes the championship lead away against. We're going to be very interesting now with Lewis Hamilton back in that championship fight. Only 30 points separate the top 4. But I think we can, if we have a few good races up to the end of the season, we could find ourselves up in 6th. But 7th place is probably the more realistic game for us this season. But still in 5th place in the championship in the constructors. We're 26 points behind Sauber. Surprised to see that Ferrari are so far back even compared to Red Bull and McLaren. I can only presume that's because of Massa's lack of points, not for a lack of trying from Alonso. But we're above Mercedes, quite a way above Williams. It's just a case of either 4th, 5th or 6th. I'd love to get 4th place in the constructors, but we probably need some big results to get there. But Kimi tried that today. We didn't get there, but we got a point. They all count. All the points count. So I think we can be happy with that. The team aren't happy with that. Again, it's like the Belgian Grand Prix. They expect more. But to be honest, I'm happy with a point there. And considering how slow we were on the pace compared to the leaders, I'm not really fussed about what's going on. Well, apparently, number of sources have claimed that we'll be leaving the team. Not getting sacked, but I think a bit of interest from other teams. But we've got 3 contract offers. Oh, that's class. That's brilliant. Well, we could be on the move, folks. Either to Caterham, HRT or Marussia. Jeez, that's how bad we must be now, but that's funny. Well, no, although actually there is. There's some rain expected for race day at Singapore. That could hot things up a little bit. We're still winning the teammate challenge between ourselves and Kimi Räikkönen. But Kimi Räikkönen on this weekend has won the teammate battle. God, that's made me chuckle. About Caterham, HRT, Marussia all offering me a seat. No thank you, folks. But average points to race 4 for us, so an average of 8, that makes sense. And an average, funnily enough, that will put us up to 8th in the standings according to the form. But Kimi is coming back a little bit, and maybe he'll finish above us in the championship with good results like that. But next up is the Singapore Grand Prix. That'll be live on the channel on Saturday at 6 PM. So make sure to subscribe to the channel to get a notification. Of course, if you hit the bell, you'll get notifications for when that video comes out. But if you're interested in snooker, F1 or MotoGP, make sure to subscribe to the channel for all of those types of content, at least for the next few weeks. I'll be getting a channel update out there in the next few weeks to explain what's going on after that. But nonetheless, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. We'll be back on Saturday for the Singtel Singapore Grand Prix. But until then, thank you for your company, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.